Hey guys, Philip with Trade Genius, and welcome to our first installment of our new daily crypto updates. In this episode, wanted to talk about the Segwit situation. There's still some confusion as to what's going on, so wanted to go over what's been done so far, and then what steps are ahead of us as far as Segwit locking in. So I kind of wanted to go over what happened yesterday. You know, we had a big bump in price. Segwit, basically, what happened yesterday was BIP91, which was basically a happy medium between the user activated soft fork, which was BIP148, which is scheduled to go live on August 1st, and then you had the miners that wanted Segwit 2x, but there was a little bit of, headbutting as far as what was best for the network. Personally, I do not like Segwit 2x. I think the block size issue is not ideal for the network. I think just Segwit, which is what the user activated fork was trying to accomplish as far as getting activated, I think that's the way to go. That's currently the track we're on. So BIP91 came about as a way to allow both sides to signal but have interoperability between the two signaling so that we wouldn't have a chain split come August 1st. So I think the chain split part of it has been avoided. Where we're at now is that as of yesterday, BIP91 is activated. Now going forward, every signal would, or every block would signal BIP91. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at now. So in about 10 hours or so, we should start seeing any blocks that aren't signaling Segwit be orphaned. Okay, so that's the next important step to see. We start seeing that, then we know that the commitment is there. Right now we see signaling commitment. Now we want to see actual orphaning of non-compatible blocks, non-Segwit blocks. We want to see those get orphaned. All right. And one way you can actually look at that is, we'll take a look at a site here I want to show you guys. It's xbt.eu. Let's take a look at this. All right, so the website is up here, xbt.eu. So over here we have a BIP148 countdown, 9 days, 3 hours. This is kind of a moot point, although I do suggest, and the guys that are running the BIP148 nodes will continue just to keep the miners honest. So that'll continue, but as of right now, that's redundant. Essentially, this BIP148 has accomplished the goal, and the miners are signaling. Essentially, they're signaling the BIP148 Segwit at this point for the majority. Okay, so BIP down here you can see BIP91 is locked in, 62 blocks until rejecting non-Segwit blocks. So you're looking at about 10 more hours. So in about 10 hours, then we're going to want to see an orphaning, and we'll probably do an update tomorrow to let you guys know how that's going. Down here is kind of interesting because you can actually see the blocks that come through. So whenever a block on the network is mined, you can see the protocol. So for example, over here under the signal column, you can see BIP91, BIP91. So you can see a vast majority of them coming through are BIP91. You have a couple Segwits here. And the important column too is a witness commitment. So this means that they are committed to orphaning those blocks. And you can see right now, especially in the last few, everybody's pulling a yes. Slush isn't yet, but I suspect that they will probably start committing to that very soon. BTC.com, they have a no and a yes, but then they have another yes here, so they might be working out some issues on their end with their mining software. But so overall, I would say that as we scroll through this, I think that we should see orphaning happen in about 10 hours, and I don't think we're going to see any problems with that at that point. Okay, so that's kind of the next thing we're looking for. At July 27th, there's going to be a new difficulty adjustment period. Every so often the difficulty changes with Bitcoin. So that will happen there, and every block will be signaling for Segwit. Now, August 1st, as you saw that countdown we just looked at, bit 148 starts, but that's not really going to do anything since signaling's already started with the BIP91. So again, that would just be, they're still going to go through with that, but that's again just kind of keeping the miners honest. Around August 10th, the difficulty adjustment period would close with around 95% signaling, or if we have greater than 95% signaling, then the BIP141 at that point locks in. And we can actually take a look at another site that I wanted to show you guys. And this is called Segwit.co. Okay, so Segwit.co. And right there you can see Segwit is not activated yet. And the reason why is because in this activation period, which we're currently in activation period 19, we don't have enough blocks to get there. All right, we need that 95% threshold. So all eyes are on period 20. It hasn't happened yet. That occurs from block 47792 to block 479808. Okay. 19 hasn't locked in. Why? Because the number of blocks left in this period, 732, is less than the number of blocks needed to lock in Segwit, 1205. So, since period 19 start, only 55.4% of the blocks have signaled. But, however, since we've had the BIP91 commitment from the miners yesterday and the signal locked, if we look now here, if we click on this part here, last 144 blocks, boom, 100%. So now we're going to be heading into the next signaling period, which is 20, with 100%. So we're looking at Segwit locking in that signal period. So again, we're looking at around August 10th for Segwit to activate. Okay, so once Segwit activates and BIP141 locks in, around August 23rd, Segwit's active. And so from August 23rd on, we're looking at pretty much the all clear. Now we're mining Segwit blocks. So I kind of wanted to go over that with you and just show you that, you know, even though BIP91 was agreed upon and BIP91 signal locked, we still have to go through where the Segwit actually locks in, the Segwit protocol actually locks in, and then we start mining actual Segwit blocks. I think this is very good for the network, and I think that in the long run it's been an interesting growth step for Bitcoin, but I think it's going to address the scaling issues and the price of, or the transmission costs, or your fee for sending Bitcoin. Those were getting out of hand, and that's going to address that as well. Tomorrow, because in 10 hours we should see some orphaning of the blocks, I would recommend that you don't do any transactions as far as moving coins, Bitcoin from wallet to wallet until later in the day tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, it should be totally obvious that things are going the way they should, but because you might not want to be doing that during the transitory period. So I would say, you know, within that 10-hour period from now, and you might want to stop maybe in 8 hours. Just don't do anything. Kind of batten down the hatches, let the orphaning process transition, and then by the end of the day tomorrow, we'll get another update out, but it should be fine. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing going out there is the Segwit 2x hard fork. That's around November 18th. I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't personally think that's going to fly, but again, it'll be another time where there may be a little bit of contention out there, but there's a long ways to go between now and then, and in cryptos things happen and change quite frequently, so we'll keep tabs on that. But anyway, that's our today's update, and I hope that cleared up the Segwit issue for you guys and where we're at in the process. Again, to recap, BIP91 signal is locked in. Now we're looking for BIP91 to basically activate and start orphaning blocks in about 10 hours. And once we see that, we'll be good to go until later, about August 23rd or thereabouts, to actually see some Segwit blocks being mined. I would recommend checking out those two websites we showed you, segwit.co and xbt.eu, and use those for your updates and see how things are going. All right, guys. Hope it helped, and we'll see you on the next update. Take care. Bye-bye.